But the former justice wanted to hear from those mayors because he's particularly concerned about the Facebook nonprofit, which gave money to Wisconsin's 5 largest cities to help conduct the election in the midst of the pandemic.
Well, millions of dollars in private funds may have been used in the public management of elections to achieve a preferred outcome at the expense of election integrity, if indeed this occurred, would be the true definition of a boondoggle. And it would also mark the beginning of tyranny and the end of the American experiment in democracy.
That's some pretty soaring rhetoric right there. He's outright making accusations that the money may have been used for, quote, a preferred outcome.
That's right. So it stems from a conservative concern that when you put money into Democratic cities, you're going to drum up Democratic turnout. This was taken to court last October, and a federal judge ruled that because the funds are going to all voters in the cities, not targeting Democrats specifically, that it was okay to go forward. There's also another level of a concern over outside influence kind of being imbued into elections that are supposed to be largely locally run. The important thing to know here is that while these 5 cities received an initial round of funding, a second round of funding went to more than 200 Wisconsin cities, towns, and villages, including conservative bastions like Waukesha, for example.
I, like most people, do not have a comprehensive understanding of how the mechanics of an election work. When I put my paper ballot into the machine, I'm left with no other thing to do except sort of hope for the best.
Plenty of people do know how the mechanics of an election work. We asked one of them, Rock County Clerk Lisa Tollefson. So is that what you're doing, watching ballots go in and crossing your fingers?
Absolutely not. We have so many checks and balances in place to verify the number of ballots matches the number of people who voted. So an image is taken of that ballot and it's stored until the polls close on election night. They verify that all of the voters have voted who were in line at 8 o'clock. They make sure all the absentee ballots have been processed. Then they hit the closed polls button, and then it tabulates everything and calculates the votes. It then randomizes the images so that your vote remains anonymous, and it prints out a report. Those reports that print out are what we certify the election off of after the election at our board of canvases.
It's being described as kind of a mystery, right? And it's not.
It's not a mystery. Everything is done in the open.
Like all clerks in Wisconsin, Tollefson received this letter from Gableman's Office of Special Counsel requesting preservation of election records, which she says clerks already do. And like others, the letter landed in her spam folder because it came from a Gmail account.